Hello, this is Nicole D'Alessio, and I'm going to teach you how to make a photo collage using an app called Pic Stitch. And it's available free for download on iOS, but there's a lot of other very similar apps, either in iOS and Android, that do the same thing. And then, of course, there's free versions and pay versions depending on how fancy you want to get. I'm going to keep it simple. My first step would be to go out on a photo walk with my students looking for love. So thinking creatively about seeing letters, L-O-V-E, in everyday things that are just around the schoolyard. And you can be really creative with how you want to do this. You don't have to use the love collage. This is just one great project idea that you can do with kids or with grown-ups. Just a fun photo walk idea. And I've got a handful of photos that I put in a separate album, and I'm just going to choose about 4 of these. And I'm going to go ahead and go to my Pic Stitch app, and I've opened it up. And once I'm in there, they give you a bunch of different free layouts to choose from. And since I'm just doing the love one, I'm going to choose the one on the bottom that has 4 in a grid of 4 little mini squares. But you, depending on what project you're going to do, you can pick another one too, and it doesn't have to be the letters. It could be anything that you want. So I'm going to choose that one for the purposes of this project. And now they do give me some little options over here about changing the aspect ratio. I really like square, so I'm going to stay with square. And then you can also do stuff like resize your cells. I'm just going to do 4 even squares, so I'm going to leave it alone. And then they also have some other options on the top for changing the background color and all that kind of stuff, but I don't need to do that. I'm just going to keep it simple without having to pay any money. And now what I'm going to do is tap on one of my boxes, and I'm going to form L-O-V-E, so I'm going to go for my L first by tapping in the first square. And then I've already taken my pictures first, so I'm going to go into my photo album. And it helps to organize your photos in advance, but if those are the most recent photos, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to choose one that looks like L. So that's my favorite one that turned out for L. Now they have some different things that you can do to the photos to edit them. Some of them are free and some of them are paid. I'm just going to leave this alone, and I'm going to press done. And I've got my L. I'm going to do the same thing for my next letter and look for one that looks like an O. Now this one maybe is not centered just right, so I can just touch it, the photo, and tweak it, and I can pinch it to resize it as well. So I'm pinching bigger to zoom in. I'm going to go for my V, and I'm going to choose this one. Now it's upside down, so what am I going to do? If I double click on it, I can get my little editor, and I'm going to go into orientation, and I am going to flip it vertically, so I have my V, and press apply and done, and then I have it the right direction. And now if I just kind of pinch it a little bit to zoom out, I can adjust it the way I want. Going for my last one for the letter E, and I'll choose that, and I'm finished. Now I'm going to go ahead and export it out the bottom right hand corner, and I like to save it to my photo album, so I always have a copy in my photo album, and I'm finished. Have fun!